This past Sunday, I took a visit to the Colorado Rail Museum in Golden. I was on a wedding trip in the Denver area and had some time to kill, and figured one of the best ways to kill said time was to finally pay this museum a visit. And I really liked it. There are many locomotives there that I had been eager to see in person. The first and foremost being the famous Burlington Route number 5629. What can I even say about this locomotive? Not only is it a massive beast, but I really like its history. Obviously everyone knows that it's the sister to the unfortunately lost excursion star number 5632, and I also quite love the story about how the Burlington basically dropped this off at the museum like an Amazon package. By my sense of humor.
Look at that Rio Grande. I like that Rio Grande.
Another locomotive in the collection that may surprise you that I really like is actually the Denver Rio Grande Western number 50, the one diesel shunter. The reason why I like this shunter so much is because of the fact that it is, well, the way I nickname it is the TF2 diesel, because this locomotive served as the basis for one of the background trains in the game Team Fortress 2. Oddly, someone who works on the game must think it's a steam locomotive because it makes steam locomotive sounds on some of the maps. If you guys know, if you guys follow Amtrak Guy 365, he's done a video on this before, so be sure to check that out. I also really like the two shades they have that came from the Georgetown Loop. I really hope they run again someday, whether it's at the museum or somewhere else. And they have a good model train exhibit as well, both an H layout and an outdoor garden layout. Sadly, the garden layout was not running while I was there, but maybe next time. And before anyone asks, sadly, Rio Grande Southern number 20 and Denver Rio Grande Western number 41 were not running when I went, so no steam for me this time. But if you're a fan of geese, thankfully Goose number 7 was running, so I got to ride behind the Goose.
Portfolio on it, and then the U.S. Department of Interior determines whether you get on it or not. These Galloping Goose were built in the 1930s for the Rio Grande Southern Railroad. They couldn't afford to run a steam engine every day. It takes a crew of 5 to run a steam engine, a minimum crew of 5, whereas this Galloping Goose only takes a crew of 1, delivering U.S. mail to the remote mining towns of the southern San Juan. The Rio Grande Southern Railroad ran from Ridgeway, Colorado. How many of you know where Ridgeway is? Okay, only one person knows where Ridgeway is. Ridgeway is south of Mount Rose. Mount Rose. Okay, Ridgeway in Delta is south of Grand Junction. And it's the extreme southwestern part of Colorado on the southern San Juan Mountains. There are railroad ran from Ridgeway up over Lizard Head Pass down to Dolores, Colorado. Dolores ran southeast of Durango. Started by a guy named Otto Mears, who made us working to building Silverton to the railroad. The town will be built, this is the last one built. It originally had no seats in it. It was a box for commercial goods and mining equipment to the remote towns of the southern San Juan. In about 1949, they decided to turn this car into a tourist train. And so they cut the windows out, put the windows in. These seats actually came from the Denver tramway. They're surplus from the old streetcars that used to run in Denver, which went out of business in 1950. This tourist boxcar was built in 1949, and the railroad ran until built in Ridgeway, Colorado. It was in an accident, a wreck. And for many years, they didn't have a Galloping Goose number 1. But the people of Ridgeway actually used some surplus parts and built another number 1. So the 7 of them still exist, all 7 of them still run. Only one of them's not here in Colorado. Does anybody have a guess where it is? We have 3 of them here on the property, this one and the other 2 over by the roundhouse. We have number 2, which was a smaller boxcar arrangement. Then we have number 6, which is a maintenance away up here. Number 6 in this unit here were used to uninstall the Rio Grande Southern Railroad when it went bankrupt. They did the salvage work. And this was also leased out to the Denver Rio Grande Railroad. If you look up on the inside of the loop here, up on the hill, you'll see car 96, which was built for the president of the railroad. You know, it's actually open. There's somebody there today. You can actually look inside that and see how the village is moving. Car has 2 bedrooms in it. Had a very large dining room. If you look on the inside here, you'll see our turntable that weighs over 50 tons. It could be moved by small children because it's perfectly balanced. There's number 2 right there. You can see the boxcar and it was smaller. A couple of Galloping Geese actually have bus bodies as the cab from 346. That's our steam engine, which is out of service right now. It's having its 15-year boiler inspection done by the Durango Silverton gauge, and they're rebuilding it for us. As soon as they get that done, we'll ship it back up here by truck. We'll be able to reassemble 346. The parts of the 346 are stored throughout the property in boxcars, and we'll be able to use that engine on the Denver and Durango and Silverton narrow gauge and the Cumbers and Toltec. A couple of years ago, we shipped engine 20 down to Cumbers and Toltec for their, I believe it was their 60th engine. We want to thank you for riding with us today. We're collecting money for our land acquisition fund, so if you have any extra dollar bills or change you'd like to donate, we'll have a big water jug on when you exit the train. We're using that to acquire land so we can expand the museum to be more useful to our guests, including better parking areas and expanding the way we run the train. Thank you again for riding with us. Be sure and stop by the basement of the train museum. We have an HO set up there. Be sure and get some quarters before you go down there.
Well, I get number 74 ring ring.